Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the third session of the course. The topic name is Cloud Platform and Infrastructure Security. We need to talk in the specific lecture part. Securing the cloud, that is protecting your digital assets. So, in an increasingly digital world, the businesses and organizations that are flocking to the cloud to harness its limitless potential. Cloud platforms that offer unparalleled scalability, flexibility, and accessibility. However, with this convenience comes a responsibility to ensure that your cloud infrastructure is very secure. This part of the lecture part, we will dive into the intricacies of a cloud platform and infrastructure security, covering topics like ranging from comprehending cloud infrastructure components to designing a secure data center and analyzing associated risk. The first point we have to discuss about the comprehending cloud infrastructure components, starting from the physical environment. Understanding the physical environment of your cloud infrastructure is a very fundamental level, and actually this includes the data centers, the servers, cooling systems, and the power supplies, everything. Just ensuring that these components that are located in a secure facilities with the stringent access controls is a very crucial. That's why the data centers should have robust security measures in place, such as like biometric access controls, surveillance, and redundant power sources also. What are the network and the communications? A secure network is very essential part to protect your cloud infrastructure. So encryption, firewalls, intrusion detection system like IDS, and regular security audits that are very essential components now. Furthermore, we can say network segmentation that can prevent unauthorized access to the limit the later movement of threads within the network here. Next will be on compute. The compute layer that refers to the virtual machines and servers that run your application smoothly. So properly configuring and patching these systems is a vital to prevent vulnerabilities. Understand that is very important. We need to focus. So employing intrusion detection and prevention system that can further enhance the security level. What of the visualization? Visualization technologies that enable efficient resources allocation and isolation of workloads. Security within a visualization includes, we can say, like securing hypervisors, managing virtual networks, and monitoring for unauthorized access to. What of the storage? The secure storage management that encompasses the data encryption, access controls, and monitoring for unauthorized access to the data breaches level. So data classification is essential for determining which data should be stored and how it should be protected. We have to understand about the concept about the storage process. According to the management plane, so management plane that encompasses the tools and interfaces used to control and monitor your cloud infrastructure, like a proper authentication, authorization, and auditing that are very crucial to secure this layer part. The next will be on designing a secure data center. We have to talk some other points, starting from the logical design. In the logical design of your data center, just to consider a tenant positioning and partitioning to isolate the customer data and access controls, implementing the robust identity and access management systems to ensure that only authorized users they can access resources. That is process we have to maintain the logical design. According to the physical design, we need to choosing the whether to build or buy your data center depends on your business organization's resource and needs. Whichever path you take, actually ensure that the physical security of the facility is impeccable. Factors like, we can say, location, redundancy, and a disaster recovery plans should be carefully considered from that. According to the environmental design, the environmental design of your data center should include like considerations for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning like HVAC systems to maintain the optimal operating conditions for your hardware. So multi-vendor pathway connectivity that can ensure the redundancy and high availability. Finally, being a design resilient, so a resilient data center that can withstand and recover from various disruptions, including like a natural disasters and cyber attacks. So redundancy in a power and network connections, regular testings of disaster recovery plans, and maintaining up-to-date backups that are very crucial aspects of our resilience process. The next way beyond, we have to talk about the analyzing risk associated with the cloud infrastructure, starting from the risk assessment. Start by identifying the potential risk to your cloud infrastructure. That is very important process. So because a comprehensive risk assessment should consider internal and external threats, compliance requirements, and the impact of the various risks on your business level. So according to the cloud vulnerabilities, threats and attacks we have to discuss. So be aware of the vulnerabilities specific to the cloud environments we need to focus, because the threats and attacks that can range from unauthorized access to the data breaches. So stay updated on emerging threats and attacks and take a proactive measures to defend against them. Final one, risk mitigation strategies we have to start and follow. So implement the risk mitigation strategies to address the identified risk. This may include like deploying security patches, enhancing access controls, encrypting sensitive data, and establishing an incident response plan to manage the security incidents effectively. In a nutshell, we have to focus on securing your cloud platform and infrastructure as a multifaceted task that requires a deep understanding of the components involved and a commitment to the proactive risk management. Exactly. So by comprehending your cloud infrastructure, as I told, you need to understand about the concept of designing a secure data center and analyzing associated risk. You can create a robust security posture that safeguard your digital assets in the cloud. And remember that security is an ongoing process. So, and staying vigilant is a very key to protecting your organization in the ever-evolving digital landscape. The next part we have to talk about the designing security controls and planning disaster recovery and business continuity in IT department. In the ever-evolving landscape, like a digital landscape and the cloud landscape of IT department, ensuring the safety and availability of critical data is a very paramount. That's when this part of the lecture part we will delve into the two crucial aspects of IT management, like designing and the planning security controls and strategizing for disaster recovery and the business continuity part. And these are essential for organizations to safeguard their assets and maintaining the operations during adverse situations too. The first will be on design and to plan the security controls. So what are the physical and environmental protection we can talk now? Example, we can say on premises. Physical security is the foundation of any type of comprehensive security plan. Protecting on-premises assets involves various measures, starting from the access control. Implement the strict access control to sensitive areas. So we need to use key cards, biometrics, or other authentication methods to ensure only authorized personnel enter secure zones. According to the surveillance, so install security cameras and monitoring systems to track activity in and around the premises. This not only acts as a deterrent but also provides evidence in case of incidents, we can say now. Finally, environmental controls. So ensure the right temperature, humidity, and fire suppression systems that are in place to protect hardware and the data centers. So what of the system, storage, and communication protection we have to talk now? Securing your data systems, storage, and the communication network is a very important part in today's digital landscape. So what are the processes we have to discuss? First will be on firewalls and intrusion detection or prevention systems. Implement these type of actions to safeguard your networks from unauthorized access and intrusion attempts. According to the data encryption, we need to use the encryption protocols to protect your data both at rest and in transit, as I told. This ensures that even if data is compromised, it remains unreadable without the encryption keys. What are the patch management? Regularly update and patch software or systems to mitigate the vulnerabilities that could be exploited by malicious actors. Finally, will be on security awareness training. That is very important because educate your employees to recognize the social engineering attacks and practice safe online behavior. So what are the identification, authentication, and authorization in a cloud environment? With the widespread of adoption of cloud services, it's a very crucial to address identified access management, starting from the user authentication. Implement the multi-factor authentication MFA to enhance the security of user accounts. According to the RBAC, the role-based access controls access and assign your roles into permission based on the principles of a least privilege. So users should only have access to what they need to perform their job. Finally, we've been audit logging. Keep logs of user activities and use automated alerts for suspicious activities. We can focus through the audit logging. So what of the audit mechanism? Example, we can say like a log collection, correlation, and a packet capture. According to the log collection, just to collect and to centralize the log from various systems and applications to have a comprehensive view of activities on your network. That process will be on a log collection. According to the log correlation, use a SAEM, the concept like a security information and event management tools to correlate the logs and to generate the actionable insight. We need to do the process through the log correlation model. Final one, packet capture. In the event of a security incident, packet capture tools that can help in-depth analysis of a network traffic to identify the threats and vulnerabilities. So what are the plan discovery, like a disaster discovery, DR, and business continuity BC? Because a robust BC or DR, like a planned disaster recovery and a business continuity, that strategy is essential to ensure an organization's survival in the face of unexpected events. So some key elements of this strategy include starting from the risk assessment. We need to identify the potential risk and assess their impact on the organization. This should cover like a natural disasters, cyber attacks, human errors, and much more. According to the recovery objectives, we need to define the recovery time objectives and recovery point objectives, because the recovery point objectives, how quickly you need to be up and running, and while RPO, like a recovery point objectives, defines how much data loss is acceptable. Everything we have to concentrate through the recovery objectives level. Finally, we have backup strategy. Implement a reliable and tested backup solution for critical data. This can offset backups too. Finally, we have a creation, implementation, and testing of the plan we have to talk and conclude. According to the plan development, create a detailed BC or DR plan, like plan disaster discovery, recovery, and business continuity, that outlines the roles and responsibilities of a personal communication procedures and recovery steps too. So ensure that the plan is very clear and easy to follow. According to the regular testing, we need to test the disaster recovery and business continuity plan on a regular basis. Understand, this can include like a simulated disaster scenarios, a tabletop exercises, and technical drills to ensure all components work as expected. Finally, when a document and update also, it's a very important point we need to do frequently. Maintain a comprehensive documentation of the business continuity, disaster recovery plan, and update it as the organization evolves or as new risk emerge. So in a conclusion, we have to focus on designing and planning security controls as well as a solid disaster recovery and a business continuity strategy. It's not just a task for IT departments, but an organizational imperative, we can say. By addressing these concerns systematically, an organization can safeguard its assets, maintaining the operational continuity, and be better prepared for unforeseen challenges too. In today's digital age, security and resilience that are very paramount for any type of business that relies on a technology for its day-to-day operations, we can say now. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the third session of the topic of cloud platform and infrastructure security we have discussed in this specific part. Thank you once again, and thank you all, my dear students.